Hey everybody, Jedi Jack Luther, and I realize it's been a long time since I've done a video. Lots been going on. I have gotten a few things in the mail, but nothing that is what's in the box worthy. Nothing that, would be amazing or off the wall. I've gotten a few small things, but so let me adjust the camera here a bit. There we go. I don't want you totally looking up my nose. I don't think you can see it though, it's far enough away. I don't have a what's in the box today. I didn't get anything in the mail in the past few days, except for some Christmas stuff that went under the tree. But I did want to show you something I got this weekend. So we got a toy store here in the Raleigh area called Cromag, and they're an awesome bunch of guys. They have a booth at the flea market. I've dealt with them many a times. I bought many things. I got an AT-AT up there that I got from them. I got a bunch of stuff. So I bought some just stuff. Just random stuff I didn't need, had to get rid of, cleaning out the junk drawers and everything. I thought, if I get $20, $25 in trade, I'll be happy. He took it there. He said, well, I can only give you $20 in trade. I'll take it. I just got to get it out. Now, I will be doing another video here shortly at some point, probably tomorrow. I took another box of stuff there about a few weeks ago, and they gave me $90 in credit, which blew my mind. I did not know there was $90 in that junk box. And you thought, well, I must have gotten a whole bunch of stuff. Well, my father taught me something important. He said, always go for quality and not quantity. In other words, save up your money to get something big. Don't get a bunch of small stuff, because it won't feel as good. And he's right. My father was right about that. So I got $90 in trade just a few weeks ago, and I walked away with the Star Wars ATTE, which is the six-legged vehicle in Attack of the Clones, with the big cannon on top and everything. It was missing a few parts, and they gave me a few of the parts it was missing. It was missing a battery cover and the handrails inside the back compartment. It's missing its giant missile on the cannon. But to be quite honest, if I don't get it, I'm not too worried about it, because the cannon alone looks awesome. It doesn't need a missile. I know they put a missile in so you can shoot something. It doesn't really need it. I'll be showing that one off here in a little bit, probably tomorrow, video overdue tomorrow. But let's just talk about what I have in front of me today. Back when I was in college, in 93, 94, 95, Star Trek The Next Generation was huge. It was one of our favorite things to watch. It was our geek out. And we would go hunt the figures from Playmate Toys like mad. Now this is back that we didn't have internet, we didn't have any news source, we just randomly thought that at some point new figures got dumped out, so we'd go hunt them. We loved those toys. They were very accurate looking, they had a lot of accessories, they were fun to collect, they displayed very well. We loved them. In fact, one of the figures I bought while I was there I got me a Geordi LaForge. I always like Geordi LaForge because it's LeVar Burton, it's Reading Rainbow, and you can't go wrong. This Geordi LaForge is special, and I'll tell you why. Because his visor can come off. They made a few of these to begin with, and then I think afterwards they permanently attached it to his head. So there was these are harder to find. And I actually didn't know I got one with a removable visor until I got home, looked at the back of the package, and it shows him without his visor on. So I got him in his Lieutenant Commander shirt. I might go back and get him in his junior grade shirt, which is a red shirt. That looks pretty cool too. But that's not what I got with my $20 credit. What I got for my $20 credit was this. The Shuttlecraft Godyard. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't remember the episodes very well. I watch Star Trek when I can watch it. It's on BBC America now. This was only $20. Not 100% complete, because it didn't have stickers on it. This is the most amazing under-engineered toy on the planet. Now, if you just set it on your shelf like this, it's fine. It looks nice. It's displayed like the figures, displays very well. You can even lower the gate here, and inside is a some kind of random. Well, they're all like this, but it's like something you can load into the back. Like, oh, it's the pallet full of the condensed negative pressure ion rings, or whatever you want to call it. I don't have much lights in here, but inside, there we go. Inside, the benches pop down when the cargo is not in there, so other figures can sit in there. And then the front opens up, and there's a chair for one figure to sit in. Now let me tell you, initially it looks pretty cool. Initially. But the devil's in the details once you get down to it, for a number of reasons. So it does hold a Star Trek The Next Generation figure. This figure, or any figure like it, will fit in this chair, and then you seat belt him in so he doesn't move around. I don't have any of the decals on the inside. That's another thing missing from it. Now, when you look, let me open up the front so that light passes through. When you look on the inside and all those benches and stuff, flip that down, you begin to realize there's not room in there for other figures. Oh, they'll fit in there, but they ain't going to sit down. You see, what Playmates did is all the figures did not have a what is called a T-joint crotch, which means the legs are on the side of the waistline and go, you know, it's more like a V type thing. So when he sits down, he's like doing this. And that looks very awkward and confusing. But the back, you could not sit figures in there that well. They don't sit down very well at all to begin with. And the seats are too small. Also, if you watch the show, and you'll know one thing. Yeah, Geordi ain't fitting in that bad. He can't walk in there. He'd have to crawl on his hands and knees, mainly because the battery pack is up here, which runs the lights on the warp nacelles, and it does a warp sound and a phaser sound. Now, it's not on, there's no batteries in here, and the reason there are no batteries in here is because someone left batteries in here with the switch in the on position, and the two batteries, it needs three, they only let two in there. The battery's heavily corroded. Now, I have got the batteries out and used some vinegar to clean the contacts. And yesterday I had this making noise and lighting up. This morning it wouldn't light up. So I need to go in there with a stiff toothbrush and clean that corrosion off really good, and then then use baking soda to remove the acidity that's in there, to get the contacts back up to where they need to be. It won't be too bad because the batteries themselves corroded, and they left some corrosion on the contacts, but not heavy corrosion. So, but here's another design flaw. The on-off switch that you would flip to make the sounds is not on the top of the ship. You would think this would be a good switch. It would flip back and forth. Nope. Where is the on-off switch to turn the sounds on and off? Unlike the Imperial Walker, which is basically always on, you have to press the button inside the handle to make the final connection to run the electricity through it. There's no on-off switch except for the button that you manually push. There is an on-off switch. It's in the battery compartment. When you put the batteries in here, it's underneath the batteries. It's a small switch, and it only says on unless you flip it to the other side, then you know it's off, but it sits under the batteries. If you turn it on and then you put the batteries in, you close it all up and you play with it, and then you think, well, I better turn it off because I don't want the batteries to run because it's constantly making that connection. You have to go in here and at least remove the first battery out And then the switch doesn't stick out. It's flat along the bottom of the battery compartment, so it doesn't keep the battery from getting put in there. You got to take something like a pair of tweezers or something, get in there and shove it hard enough to turn it off. Then put the battery back in, and then close it all back up. What kid is going to do all that? The kid's going to leave it on the on position, and after a while, the batteries will run and run and run and run. They'll get corroded, and it won't work anymore. So, this toy was not engineered very well at all. It fits a figure in the front, but it can't. But if you're trying to walk up the ramp and go into it, the figure is taller than the Shuttlecraft. Geordi can't even duck down. He has to crawl in there. You know, this back space, even though they put seats in, could probably hold some G.I. Joes. And the scale of it, to be quite honest, should be bigger. And I realize that a bigger toy means more plastic, more money, dun, 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 dun. But still, it's completely too small. A lot of the things on it aren't done right to make it work right. There should be an on-off switch outside the battery compartment, and there's not. And it runs the risk of corroding the batteries because you're going to leave it on. You're not going to keep going in there and pulling those batteries out just to shut it off. And you want it on so that whenever you feel like it, you can press the buttons and so it just, they didn't work it right. They should have made they should have made this up here the on-off switch. It could have been rigged to do that so that you could slide it back and forth and turn it on and off. And they didn't. But if you want to just display it, it works perfectly. Probably with the older Next Generation figures, the one by Galoob that were Star Wars sized and had only a few points of articulation. That would work for that. But it doesn't. But it only works if you stick them in the cockpit. Anything else ain't gonna work. So that was my review of the Next Generation Playmates Shuttlecraft Goddard. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I remember correctly, and I may not be remembering correctly, that's the Shuttlecraft they gave to Scotty after they rescued him so he could go off on whatever wacky adventure he wanted to have. That would have been a great Star Trek show. The Adventures of Scotty. And we just follow Scotty randomly going through the universe in a Shuttlecraft. So, I'm Jedi Jack Luther. And it is 2 weeks before my birthday. How about that? 2 weeks from today is my birthday. Yay! Turn 45. Get too old. I'll probably be on here tomorrow with another video. I really want to show off that ATTE, and it works perfectly. And it has an on-off switch that outside the battery box that works perfectly. We'll probably show that off tomorrow. So for what's in the box, I'm Jedi Jack Luther. I will see you tomorrow. I'm finally getting some videos out. I'm sorry it took so long. Thank you for having patience with me. If you're watching this for the first time, watch my other videos. Hit the subscribe button. Get me some more subscribers on here. And I promise you, I'm pumping out videos and getting a few more on here. So just hang in there. I will see you tomorrow. And Merry Christmas from What's in the Box.